tonight's 1 year Bible daily read. Sorry we're a little late. I took a nap after work and I'm just waking up. Not gonna lie. Um, your boy had a late work night yesterday, so I was looking forward to that nap after work today. And that nap after work was so good that I'm just getting up. How y'all doing? Today is April the 11th. That means we're reading from April the 13th in our 1 year Bible read. And it's day 104. And my dog, my little man's passed gas on my desk. So, how y'all doing tonight? How you doing? Tonight we're reading from Joshua 7:16 through 9, ending on verse 2. Following that up with, that's a long verse, Luke 16:1 through 18. And then following that up with Psalms 82:1 through 8. And then wrapping up our night with Proverbs 13:2 3. And without further ado, chat, let's get into tonight's read. Okay. It's day 104. Let's get into it. So Joshua 7:16 through 9, and in verse 2. Early the next morning, Joshua brought the tribes of Israel before the Lord. The tribe of Judah was singled out. Then the clans of Judah came forward. Clowns. And the clan of Zerah was singled out. Then the families of Zerah came forward, and the family of Zimri was singled out. Every member of the Zimri family was brought forward person by person, and Achan was singled out. When Joshua said to Achan, "My son, give the glory to God, the God of Israel, by telling the truth. Make your confession and tell me what you have done. Don't hide it from me." Achan replied, "It is true, I have sinned against the Lord, the God of Israel. Among the plunder I saw a beautiful robe from Babylon, 200 silver coins, and a bar of gold weighing more than a pound. I wanted them so much that I took them. They are hidden in the ground beneath my tent, with the silver buried deeper than the rest." So Joshua sent some men to make a search. They ran to the tent and found the stolen goods hidden there. Just as Achan had said, with the silver buried beneath the rest. They took the things from the tent and brought them to Joshua and all the Israelites. Then they laid them on the ground in the presence of the Lord. "Hey, what's up, Carter? How you doing?" Then Joshua and all the Israelites took Achan the silver, the robe, the bar of gold, his son's daughter, cattle, donkey, sheep, goats, tent, and everything he had, and brought them to the valley of Achor. Then Jesus said to Achan, "Why have you brought trouble on us? The Lord will now bring trouble on you." And all the Israelites stoned Achan and his family and burned their bodies. Golly, they piled a great heap of stones over Achan, which remains to this day. That is why the place has been called the Valley of Trouble ever since. So the Lord was no longer angry. Then the Lord said to Joshua, "Do not be afraid or discouraged. Take all your fighting men and attack Ai, for I have given you the king of Ai, his people, his town, and his land. You will destroy them as you destroyed Jericho and its king. By this time you may keep the plunder and the livestock for yourselves. Set an ambush behind the town." So Joshua and all the fighting men set out to attack Ai. Joshua chose 30,000 of his best warriors and sent them out at night with these orders: "Hide in ambush close behind the town and be ready for action. When our main army attacks, the men of Ai will come out to fight as they did before, and we'll run away from them. We will let them chase us until we have drawn them away from the town. For they will say, 'The Israelites are running away from us as they did before.' Then while we're running from them, you will jump up from your ambush and take possession of the town. For the Lord your God will give it to you. Set the town on fire as the Lord has commanded you. You have your orders." So they left and went to the place of the ambush between Bethel and the west side of Ai. But Joshua remained among the people in the camp that night. Early in the morning, Joshua roused his men and started toward Ai, accompanied by the elders of Israel. All the fighting men who were with Joshua marched in front of the town and camped on the north side of Ai, with a valley between them and the town. That night, Joshua sent about 5,000 men to lie in ambush between Bethel and Ai, on the west side of the town. So they stationed the main army north of the town and the ambush west of the town. Joshua himself spent a night in the valley. When the king of Ai saw the Israelites across the valley, he and all his army hurried out early in the morning and attacked the Israelites at the place overlooking the Jordan Valley. But he didn't realize there was an ambush behind the town. Joshua and the Israelite army fled toward the wilderness as they were badly beaten. Then all the men in the town were called out to chase after them. In this way, they were lured away from the town. There was not a man left in Ai or Bethel who did not chase after the Israelites, and the town was left wide open. Then the Lord said to Joshua, "Point the spear in your hand toward Ai, for I will hand you the town. I will hand the town over to you." Joshua did as he was commanded. As soon as Joshua gave this signal, all the men in ambush jumped up from their position and poured into the town. They quickly captured it and set it on fire. When the men of Ai looked behind them, smoke from the town was filling the sky, and they had nowhere to go. But the Israelites who had fled in the direction of the wilderness now turned on their pursuers. When Joshua and all the other Israelites saw that the ambush had succeeded and the smoke was rising from the town, they turned and attacked the men of Ai. Meanwhile, the Israelites who were inside the town came out and attacked the enemy from the rear. So the men of Ai were caught in the middle, with the Israelite fighters on both sides. Israel attacked them, and not a single person survived or escaped. Only the king of Ai was taken alive and brought to Joshua. When the Israelite army finished chasing and killing all the men of Ai in the open fields, they went back and finished off everyone inside. So the entire population of Ai, including men and women, was wiped out that day, 12,000 in all. But Joshua kept holding out his spear until everyone who had lived in Ai was completely destroyed. Only the livestock and the treasures of the town were not destroyed, for the Israelites kept these as plunder for themselves, as the Lord had commanded. So Joshua burned the town of Ai, and it became a permanent mound of ruins, desolate to this very day. Joshua impaled the king of Ai on a sharp-ended pole, and left him there until evening. At sunset, the Israelites took down the body as Joshua commanded and threw it in front of the town gate. They piled a great heap of stones over him that can still be seen today. Then Joshua built an altar to the Lord, the God of Israel, on Mount Ebal. He followed the commands of Moses, the Lord's servant, had written in the book of instructions. Make me an altar from stones that are uncut and have not been shaped with iron tools. Then on the altar they presented burnt offerings and peace offerings to the Lord. And as the Israelites watched, Joshua copied onto the stones of the altar the instructions Moses had given them. Then all the Israelites, foreigners and native born alike, along with the elders, officers, and judges, were divided into two groups. One group stood in front of Mount Gerizim, the other in front of Mount Ebal. Each group faced the other, and between them stood the Levitical priest, carrying the Lord's covenant. This was all done according to the commands that Moses, the servant of the Lord, had previously given for blessing of the people of Israel. Joshua then read to all of them all the blessings and curses Moses had written in the book of instruction. Every word and every command that Moses had ever given was read to the entire assembly of Israel, including the women and children and the foreigners who lived among them. And all the kings west of the Jordan River heard about what had happened. These were the kings of the Hittites, Amorites, Canaanites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites, who lived in the hill country, in the western foothills, and along the coast of the Mediterranean Sea, as far north as Lebanon Mountains. These kings combined their armies to fight as one against Joshua and the Israelites. Ooh, so it was a big battle coming. And now chat Luke 16, 1-18. Jesus told the story to his disciples. There was a certain rich man who had a manager handling his affairs. One day a report came to the manager that the manager was wasting the employer's money. So the employer called him in and said, "What's this I hear about you? Get your report in order because you're going to be fired." The manager thought to himself, "Now what? The boss has fired me. I have the strength to dig ditches, and I'm too proud to beg. And now I have to ensure that I'll have plenty of friends who will give me a home when I'm..." So he invited each person who owed money to his employer to come and discussed the situation. He asked the first one, "How much do you owe him?" The man replied, "I owe him 800 gallons of olive oil." So the manager told him, "Take the bill and quickly change it into 400 gallons. And how much do you owe my employer?" He asked the next man. "I owe him 1,000 bushels of wheat," was the reply. Eli and Alfie, come on now. "Owe him 1,000 bushels of wheat," was the reply. Here the manager said, "Take the bill and change it to 800 bushels. Eli and Alfie. Y'all wait till I'm done, please. Can you wait till I'm done, please? Thank you. The rich man had to admire the dishonest rascal for being so shrewd. And it is true that the children of this world are more shrewd in dealing with the world around them than are the children of light. Here's a lesson. Use your worldly resources to benefit others and make friends. Then, when your possessions are gone, they will welcome you to an eternal home. If you're faithful in little things, you will be faithful in large ones. But if you're dishonest in little things, you won't be honest with greater responsibilities. And if you're untrustworthy with your worldly wealth, who would trust you with your riches of heaven? And if you're not faithful with other people's things, why should you be trusted with the things of your own? No one can serve two masters, for you will hate one and love the other. You will be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and be enslaved to money. The Pharisees who dearly loved their money heard all this and scoffed at him. Then he said to them, "You like to appear righteous in public, but God knows your hearts. What this world honors is detestable in the sight of God. Until John the Baptist, the law of Moses, and the messages of the prophets were your guides. But now the good news of the kingdom of God is preached, and everyone is eager." How you doing, Steen? What are you reading from tonight? Right now, I'm reading from Luke. Hey, what's up, dudes? How you doing? Appreciate that. I'm reading from Luke right now. Currently, I'm reading from Luke 16, 1 through 18. To get in. But it doesn't mean that the law had lost its force. It is easier for heaven and earth to disappear than for the smallest point of God's law to be overturned. For example, a man who divorces his wife and marries someone else commits adultery. Anyone who marries a woman divorced from her husband commits adultery. And now chat, Psalms 82, 1 through 8. God presides over heaven's court. He pronounces judgment on the heavenly beings. How long will you hand down unjust decisions by favoring the wicked? Give justice to the poor and the orphan. Uphold the rights of the oppressed and the destitute. Rescue the poor and helpless. Deliver them from the grasp of evil people. But these oppressors know nothing. They are so ignorant. They wander about in darkness while the whole world is shaken to their core. They say, "You are gods. You are all children of the Most High. But you will die like mortals and fall like every other ruler. Rise up, O God, and judge the earth, for all the nations belong to you." And now chat Proverbs 13:2-3. Wise words will win you a good meal, but treacherous people have an appetite for violence. Those who control their tongue will have a long life. Opening your mouth can ruin everything. And now, don't miss understanding the understandable. Ooh, it's a little blurry. Oh, still a little blurry. It's okay. I appreciate that. You too, man. You have a good one. Do not miss understanding the understandable. The Bible has many confusing passages. Why would Jesus tell a story that seems to honor a dishonest employee who cooks the books in favor before being fired? Why would a man committing a theft cause his whole family to be stoned and burned? There are many mysteries in the scriptures, but we also have resources that can help us understand them. When we encounter head scratchers like these, let's boldly admit that we don't know, then diligently dig deep, study harder, and find the answers we need to understand the Word of God. Let's read it one more time. Do not miss understanding the understandable. The Bible has many confusing passages. Why would Jesus tell a story that seems to honor the dishonest employee who cooks the books in his favor? Why would a man committing a theft cause his whole family to be stoned and burned? There are many mysteries in the scriptures. We all have resources that can help us understand them. When we encounter head scratchers like these, let's boldly admit that we don't know. Then diligently dig deeper, study harder, find the answers we need to understand the Word of God. My mouth is so dry, chat. I need some water. Ooh. What did the Lord say was his religion? Could you please read that in the scriptures for us, please? I'm not sure. But this isn't a typical Bible. This is the one-year Bible, so the scriptures are broken up into sections, so that you can make it through read the Bible in a year's time. That's kind of what we're doing. We're reading the Bible in a year's time. Give me 1 second. Let me see what that verse is. I'm not aware, so let's see. In what version? Because I see James 127. How you doing, basketball? You know what verse it is, Steam? You know what verse it is, so I can look it up. Look up the verse. I see something else in Acts 25:19, but I haven't seen anything from Matthew. King James Version. Okay, Matthew 22:37 through 40. That's kind of what we just read about today, or Matthew 6:24. It's in James 1. Apologize. Oh, okay. It's in James 1. And I'm not sure if I said what's up, basketball. What's up, bro? It's in James 1:27. So James 1:27 says, religion that God our Father accepts as pure and faultless is this, to look after orphans and widows in their distress and to keep oneself from being polluted by the world. So to spread love and not be polluted by the world. So don't be, I was just talking about this earlier, but we read about this last night. It was about, what was it? Acting in, right? Being polluted by the world is acting in, right? And what I mean by acting in from our word yesterday was, when you act in, you bring in like emotion. So acting out is easy to spot. That's what it said yesterday. What's easy to spot is acting out, right? When you act out, it's easy to spot because it's like driving reckless. It's like being drunk. It's like being just just being outward about it, right? But at the end, it's something that can, it's something that you don't show people. It's something that everybody can't see. It's something you're not telling people, right? At the end is when you have like anger in your heart, or when you have like malice towards people, or when you resent somebody else for getting something, right? Because you don't tell somebody about that out loud. It's not something that's outward, and that's acting in, right? And that can tarnish your heart. And I get, and I can see what that means being polluted by, and in that word, that's being polluted by the world, right? So don't forget to love others and don't be polluted by the world, right? Don't act in and bring on a negativity into your heart. Remember to love your neighbor. My day's been okay. My day's been okay. It is one pure religion with no tradition or fault, just kindness. You know, for sure. Yeah, that's been the repeated several times throughout our read so far. And that's one thing we like to go over here. How's your day been though, basketball? How's your day been? For sure. How's everybody's day been? You know, for sure. Thank you for that. I appreciate that, Steam. Thank you for that. Hey, thank you, bro. I love you too, man. Have a great one. Or if you're staying by, thank you for the sub, man. I appreciate that. Right now, we're going to ask for clarity and wisdom on today's word. So I'm gonna close my eyes. You know, I also kind of like say thank you for the day during this whole process. So it takes about a minute or two. So I'm gonna close my eyes, and then when I open my eyes, I'm gonna be right back. Okay, so chat, I got a couple words today, right, chat? I got a couple words today, right, chat? So Joshua 7:16 through 9, and then on verse 2. So this story was about a man who pretty much didn't know that he would be caught. He didn't know anybody was watching. He didn't know anybody was truly watching. But God is always with you, so God always knows, right? So he thought since he was all in the mix, that Noah was watching what he was doing. Nobody was seeing his actions. But God saw him, right? And it's really a parable to show you that God is there always watching, right? It's not just you who knows what you're up to, right? It's not just you who is there in those times, right? And even through a large crowd, God is aware, right? And now Luke 16, 1 through 18. No one can serve two masters, for you will hate one and love the other. You will be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and be enslaved to money. Also, you cannot serve God and be a slave to the flesh, right? You cannot serve two masters. You're gonna appreciate one and hate the other, no matter which way about it. Because one is going to tell you what you want to hear, and the other one is not going to tell you what you want to hear. You're not going to like the one that telling you what you want to hear, right? You can't serve two masters. You can't pretend that you're serving one master, but you're really serving two masters, right? You serve God only. You don't fall to the desires of the flesh, you know. You can't serve two masters, right? And now, Psalms 82, 1 through 18. Give justice to the poor and the orphan, and uphold the rights of the oppressed and the destitute. Rescue the poor and helpless, deliver them from the grasp of evil people. Don't forget to help out your neighbor, right? Don't forget to have some love for your neighbor today, right? Here's our message today from Psalms. Don't forget to have some love for a neighbor today. And now in Proverbs 13, 2 through 3. Wise words will win you a good meal, but treacherous people have an appetite for violence. Those who control their tongue will have a long life. Open your mouth can ruin everything. Not everything you think needs to be said needs to be said. Sometimes you can overspeak and overstep your boundaries. So I would implore you to watch, to maybe maybe watch what you got to say today. Watch the tongue, right? Everything that you can say does not need to be said. For sure. And now, chat, that was the end of today's One Year Bible Read. Thank you for joining me. Y'all have a great rest of your night, and let's hit this outro. We don't got the limitless core, baby. I appreciate you. I might even love you, but I'm for sure glad you woke up today. You have a great rest of your night, and I'm gonna see you tomorrow. Peace.